Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a tutorial on a graduation stole I did using 8.5 by 11 paper. Stay tuned. So the size of the template I used is 8.5 by 11, and what I did was I went in and I selected a shape, which is a square, and the square was done according to the measurement of my stole, which is roughly about 4 inches wide. However, I did do it at 4.5 inches, just to make sure that the stole is fully covered when I'm applying the transfer. So basically you can select your picture. I went ahead and removed the background, of course, and once you've selected your picture, you can size it according to your preference, so you can make it bigger or smaller. Now bear in mind that this portion of the stole is just basically one part, so I ended up using 3 sheets of the 8.5 by 11 for a half of the stole. All right. But once you have selected your photos and you've kind of positioned them how you want, then you can go ahead and add your words in. And I used the font playlist script for my words. So this font, not this font, but this stole was a replica of the one that I saw on J. Stewart's Laboratory. I basically watched her video on YouTube and kind of like mimicked what she did. So shout out to you, J. Stewart Laboratory, for your dope video. You could definitely play with it, add whatever photos you like, any inspirational themes, etc. What I did was, for the background, I went and I added the blue to the background just for coverage, just to ensure that my stole is covered. And of course, for this section, the number 2, I used the number frames, and what I did was just go ahead, I went in and I added the gold foil to it. So you just go to image and you can just add your gold foil. Now, I know some persons, they do use the picture, the actual picture, because that's what I originally intended on doing. However, when I did that, you'll see the photo just does not, it just didn't come out properly according to the layout of the photo. So I tried a few different pictures, but somehow like a portion of her face would get cut off, and yeah, I didn't want to do that to this beauty. So I just went ahead and use the foil for it. Alright, so after I downloaded the image, I went ahead and I basically just use my guillotine or paper cutter, and I ensure that it is, say, roughly 4.5 or 5 inches, because you want to make sure that you are covering your entire stole. So that's one sheet that's printed already. All right, so I've printed the second sheet, and what I did, I just measure them. So kind of put them together where you want. You cut off the excess, of course. And of course, when you're printing, you mirror your image. Don't forget that. But what I did here was I pieced them together where I would want the picture to continue, and then I used the heat tape and join them together. Alright, so I did the same thing to the next side. I printed and attached to where I wanted the words to continue, or the design to continue, and I kind of just matched it up with my stole to ensure that I get full coverage. And this is a bit tricky because you want to make sure every bit of your stole is completely covered. Now, of course, for me, the measurement was off in the middle piece. You'll notice that there were some extra pieces or extra portion of the design or paper lapping over, and that's fine. Just ensure that it doesn't bleed onto your heat press as it did mine, of course. So go ahead, and I secured the design or the stole onto the design, or vice versa, with some heat tape. And I must say that I do prefer the gold heat tape because this one does not support. I mean, it just is not adhesive enough. I don't know. But I got these ones off of Amazon, and I do not like working with it because it's not sticky enough. So y'all, I taped up my design at my workstation, my desk, and of course I had to walk to the table that my heat press is on. And guess what? It dismantled completely. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this tape. Not a fan of this tape. However, we made it work. I just laid the design, or I laid the stole down and then put the design over it, and I pressed for 60 seconds at 400 degrees. So for each side I had to press twice. So I would do a portion of the stole, and then I would go back in and press where the other section was not covered or pressed on. And you can see there where the excess paper or ink got on my heat press, but no worries, we'll clean that off. And then I just repeat the same thing for the next side. Press twice, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Okay, y'all, this is the finished product. Tell me what you think for my first attempt. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.